Welcome to the Seattle Center campus and to the 2018 Mayor's Arts Awards. Thank you all so much for being here. At the Office of Arts and Culture, we open all of our events by recognizing that we are on Indigenous land, the traditional territories of the Coast Salish people. So in keeping with that tradition, it is my great honor to welcome Mr. Ken Workman of the Duwamish tribe up to the stage. Ken is the great-great-great-great-grandson of Chief Seattle, namesake of our city. It is our honor to have him join us again to open the program and to welcome us into the space. Join me in welcoming Ken Workman.
Thank you, Randy. So by way of formal introduction on a language that my people would be speaking 1,000 years ago and 2,000 years before that here on this land. Our name, Duwamish, it means people of the inside. So by formal introduction, ya yustobs tidzda hata Duwams. I am Workman of the Duwamish tribe. Aquayekwa, siab sialchad. And great-great-great-great-grandson of Chief Seattle. And so these words in this language we weren't allowed to speak for so very long. First it was taken away from us in the schools. And then when our children came back, they didn't want to speak in these words anymore. So it's fortunate today that it's beginning to come back. The many languages of the indigenous people are starting to return home. So it's an honor to stand here on this stage before all of you, before these presenters, and for these awards on this day, on Teaslaw Hill. Yuf, say Hasaslav Debitsi Disiyaya. It is good to see you, my friends. Hasaslav Debitsi Yuf Gwigwihidaka Disho Godaf Hatayaya Labdawams. It's good to see you and welcome to this land of the ancient Duwamish. It's also important that we say thank you. And we do this in as many languages and in many ways as we can, because we recognize the good work that goes on here by all the different peoples, all the different nations that are here. And so for our Tlingit friends, they say thank you by this word, Gunolchish. Tlingit are at the southern end of Alaska, and 300 miles south of them, you run into the Haida, where they use Hawa. 100 miles east of the Haida are the Simpson, where they use Deutschkum. I almost forgot. In the middle of Vancouver Island, so now you're another 300 miles south of the Haida and the Simpson, and you run into the Nuu-chah-nulth, where they use Tlaco. On the U.S.-Canadian border, our Saanich and Lummi friends, they use Haiska. Our friends to the north, the Tulalip, use Tig, and right here, the Suquamish, the Duwamish, the Snoqualmie, the Puyallup, the Muckleshoot, we use Kui. All of these words mean the same thing. On the Columbia River, our Chinook friends use Hayo. And so when I say Esquidita Chetisiaya Twadagwaya Ibashidaf Disha Iab Altu Aslakya. Thank you, my friends, for your journey to this honorable house, this Heiku Altu, this big house, Aslak Hill, this day. And as my grandfather stood on the shores over here just 167 years ago, and he said, come ashore, my friends, come ashore onto this land of the Duwamish. Gui Gui Hidak, you are welcome here. When I say Gui, this means, my friend, you are welcome. When I say Gui Gui, it means your canoe is welcome. But when I say Gui Gui Hidak, just as my grandfather did before me, it means everybody is welcome here. And so it is my honor to stand here before you today and repeat those same words that my grandfather said when I say Gui Gui Hidak, Gui Gui Hidak, Gui Gui Hidak. No way.
Ken Workman, everybody. Thank you, Seattle arts community. It is because of all of you that we are here today, in particular to celebrate 5 outstanding people, but really this is a celebration of all of the work that all of you do. And so thank you for being here and taking part in that. We'd like to thank our sponsors for the event, because nothing happens without sponsors. One Reel, AEG, City Arts Magazine, hi Leah, Boeing, of course, the Seattle Arts Commission, the Chihuly Garden and Glass, in particular, Michelle and Hillary. We'll talk more about the incredible art that they contributed to this event. And I do want to say that they are our partners, Chihuly Garden and Glass, in commissioning a local artist to create these original pieces of work, which are given out as awards to the artists. It seems fitting. Mayor's Arts Award will be created by local artists. This year's award was created, it's a phenomenal piece. If you get a chance to look at it, I highly suggest you do, by Ziyi Amy Young. And of course, we want to thank her. Give it up for the artist who did the work. Both a glass and a ceramic artist. The work represents both. It's really an incredible piece. And we really value the partnership that we have with Chihuly Garden and Glass, allowing us to be able to bring local art to each award. It has been a busy, crazy last year in all the ways. We're really excited that in November, we're going to be moving into King Street Station and creating a permanent home for arts and culture in the middle of our city, centering the voices and the work of artists of color. The opening show is going to be amazing. Stay tuned for that. And, you know, that all happens in addition to the incredible work that the staff of the Office of Arts and Culture does every single day. We make investments in the arts in order to foster connection, to amplify stories, and to build community. Cultural organizations and artistic programming are the connective tissue that brings our communities together, and art only happens with and through artists. So thank you to all the artists and all the cultural organizations who allow us to do what we do. The equitable distribution of resources alongside investments in training and professional development is key to the evolution of an equitable city and the effectiveness of this office. We saw the growth of Creative Advantage, our arts education initiative, now in 63 of our 102 schools in Seattle Public Schools. The first Mayor's Arts Awards that I got to have this role in, we were announcing that this thing was going to happen called Creative Advantage, and we're now 2/3 of the way to fully implementing, and that's thanks to all of you. All of the work in our office is being undertaken through a race and social justice lens, including the massive expansion of our Cultural Facilities Fund to $1 million a year, which just closed. So be on the lookout for the notification letters if you applied. But you know, I have to thank this city and this mayor for our ability to continually invest at higher levels in more people, in more of the important work that's happening in this city. I haven't been on this stage in this role without the sort of coaching and co-presenting of my friend and mentor, Miss Vivian Phillips. It feels weird to be up here without her. Vivian was the chair of the commission for 3 of the 6 years I've had this job. And when I think about what partnership and leadership look like, I think about Vivian. I also think about our current chair, Miss Terry Hiroshima. Give it up for Terry and Vivian. I'm blessed to work with an exceptional arts commission and an exceptional staff, and in particular, the leadership that Terry and Vivian have had and have shared with me, and generously by that action shared with all of you is something I'm really, really thankful for. And it's their last year on the Arts Commission, so we'll probably have to cancel everything and start over in 2019. No, we won't cancel everything, but their leadership and their partnership has been an incredible asset, not just to the office and to me personally, but to the city and to the arts community. And speaking of really dynamic and impressive leadership, it's my pleasure to introduce the mayor of our city, Mayor Jenny Durkin. You can clap for Mayor Durkin. I'm going to say more stuff about her, but... and I'll say, you know, I knew that Mayor Durkin was supportive of the arts, but I don't think she's supportive. I think she's an advocate for the arts. And I can say that across 6 years in this job, with a number of different administrations, there has never been an executive, there's never been a mayor or a mayor's office that has been more supportive of the work that our office does. And it's not just about arts being something that's nice to have in a city. It's about arts and culture and creativity being central to how we imagine the future of this city. It's about the identity of who we are. It's about how we solve hard problems. And it's about how we stand up and do something meaningful about equity in this city. So I want to thank Mayor Durkin for her leadership. And I want to welcome her to the stage. Please welcome your mayor, Jenny Durkin.
So what he said. Thank you, Randy. That was really a great introduction. I want to thank you. I want to thank the commission. I want to thank the people on my staff that spent so many hours having the fantastic job of going through all of the people who qualified to get awards. We are really, really blessed in this city to have such vibrant talent, to have so many people in the arts across the spectrum, depending on all the arts, to being really great. And Randy's exactly right. If you look back over history at the greatest civilizations through the time in the history of the world, those great civilizations usually have something in common: a really vibrant arts community. They value the arts not just as something that is a nice to have, but as being part of that central expression of who we are, being something that challenges society across every level, that captures what's best in us and challenges us to be better. And you can see that in some of the artists we're going to be honoring today. I was saying to someone that not everything I do as mayor is easy, newsflash. And not everything is always fun, but this was an amazing process to be part of, to go through the final nominees and to read about them, to kind of help select who those final awardees would be, was really such a meaningful thing for me. And it really made me think again, I love Seattle. We're the best city anywhere. And we really are. Give us a shout out. But it's also really important, what Randy says, to really center ourselves on racial equity and thinking about who we are as a city, and the arts are such an important part of that, because it's a fragile time in Seattle. We all know that. We all feel that. More and more people have been pushed out. It's hard to find a toehold here. It's getting more and more unaffordable. And for artists, it's particularly unaffordable. I had the pleasure on one of my walking tours recently in Columbia City to walk through and see some of the great space for artists that we have down there, and to see the new venture for Tarik, who you're going to be seeing here, which is amazing. But just knowing that in all parts of our city, it's harder and harder. So as your mayor, know that working with Randy and others to always be conscious of how do we make sure that we preserve and support and award and recognize the great artists here in the city of Seattle. Not just those who are able to walk onto the stage today, but the hundreds of others struggling in this city to express some of the most challenging but some of the most beautiful thoughts we have. So as your mayor, I welcome you, and we have a really, the lineup today is quite amazing. And we get to start it with a reading from Anastasia Renee, who is going to give us, she is our Seattle civic poet. So let's give it up for her, please.
Hi, y'all. How are you? I feel so honored to be here, and I'm so excited to celebrate the award recipients. This poem is there's calls for some audience participation, and all you have to do is say your name, your own name. You got it? You'll know when it's time. Enough is enough. There are times when you wake up sweltering in smoke or sadness, or somebody call my mama, and you don't know if you can suffer not the little children, or turn the other cheek, or find your zen, or amnesia systemic oppression away. There are times when your doubt and your disappointment manifests itself as a tired human after a long day of isms and ists and phobias and hopeful losses. You too. You too. When you cry in the elevator in your new dress and fancy heels, when you handshake really well, but it's only a way to hold you up from the day, when your good morning feels only morning minus the good, you are trying. Good morning. There are times when you can't decipher if your anxiety or your asthma or your sensory overload turned into apathy is what's fighting the smoke. And you want to believe it really is just an orange moon. You do not want to read another story about this or that or the other, about the things becoming fallen ash or fallen body or falling by the wayside or failing or fake news, and you don't want to hear any more false evidence appearing real. There are times when you wake up to find out the queen is dead. And when you do, and you will, I want you to close your eyes and remember. Do not be afraid of your own wilderness. Tell the stag of yourself it can live. When the stress of the world leans on your trunk, tell it you are no one's treehouse, that the weight of it all doesn't own your soul's piece of land, that your spirit's freedom cannot be closed or contained or consumed. The weight of the world cannot take your good memories, your love, your power centers so sweet, no sour can pucker you into being less free. There will be days when you need to remember you are alive. You are here. Say your own name. Remember, you come from magic. You are a moon crater and a metaphor, and my, have mercy on the glory of your real shining self shining upon your own darkness. You are no minor arcana, but major movement, honey. Remember to be well. Remember, you are grace and mercy upon yourself. You are many millimeters of bright light on a mission. You are your own mainstay and your own count it all joy. Say your name. You are no mishap, no mistake, or a monster. You are here. You are alive. You are present. You are limitless. You are non-quantifiable. You are enough.
Thank you, Anastasia, Renee. Amazing. There really is no better follow-up to that than presenting the Mayor's Arts Awards. Okay, so as Randy mentioned, my name's Tarik Hiroshima. I'm currently the chair of the Seattle Arts Commission, and on behalf of our commission, please know that we are so honored to serve in this way. All of the nominees and recipients are extremely dedicated individuals and organizations that contribute greatly to our community. This year's 5 recipients, Tarik Abdullah, thank you, Paula Boggs, Fulgencio Lazo, Jorge Enrique González Pacheco, and Karen P. Thomas. Yes. These 5 were selected because of their artistic excellence, their deep ties to the community, their work to further racial equity and social justice, and their endless contributions to our city. So today, it's my pleasure to present Fulgencio Lazo with the 2018 Mayor's Arts Award. Fulgencio is an incredibly talented artist who straddles and connects his home country of Mexico with his adopted city of Seattle. He's also known for his tireless work to create programs and spaces that are inclusive and reflect diverse audiences. He's co-founded some of Seattle's most iconic traditions within the Latinx community, including Seattle's annual Oaxacan celebration known as Guelaguetza, International Children's Day, and the Day of the Dead celebrations. Most recently, he co-founded Studio Lazo, an organization of artists and community members creating a welcoming venue that especially showcases the creativity of Latinx artists, writers, and musicians. Please join me in welcoming Fulgencio Lazo.
It's hard to see from here. Buenas tardes a todos. Espero que estén todos bien y gracias por venir hoy para celebrar a todos los que ganaron premios. Thank you everybody to come today and stay with us to celebrate the people who wins the honor. So my name is Fulgencio Lazo. I'm from Oaxaca, Mexico, and I want to share this award to my family, my friends, and my community. Unfortunately, my wife, she's not here with us. She's part of my life, and she helped me and work together to work with the community very close. And also, I want to, I don't know if my daughter Maya, she's here, but I want to say thank you also to my daughter, my brothers, Antonio Lazo, and my sister, Marisela Lazo, and all the community. So, I'm supposed to read something here, so sorry. I brought my calendar because my wife, she's not here to me, and then, so I carry my calendar for 4 days. Don't forget my meetings. This is the first time for 24 years I carry my calendar, so. It's an honor. So it's an honor for me to be here today and accept this award. And I would like to congratulate all the other people honored here as well. I would like to thank the Seattle Art Commission and especially the Seattle Office of Art and Culture. Seattle is moving in the right direction, and the Office of Art and Culture is leading that way. I wear 2 hats today. One is a painter, and the other one is a luchador or warrior for more inclusive community. To be a painter is to have a responsibility to others. Our work must have a purpose. It has to give life and hope, and we can stop there. It's not enough to just make art and lift people up. But as a painter, I action should do the same. Every day we have many opportunities to practice this. Some are small, like saying hi to neighbor or giving them a smile. And some opportunities are bigger, like strongly with our institution to create programs that reflect our diverse community. Whether large or small, those things define us much more than any canvas or line possible can. In my way, I think it's because of this work I can paint lines and use color. I give joy and make us feel good. These beliefs have inspired me to grow Latino art and culture in Seattle for the last 28 years, always surrounded by many, many other people who want to do the same. Our work very day by day link people together, all kinds of people. Today, I would like to accept this honor in the name of my community that has accompanied with me doing this work. Promotion culture tradition like Day of the Dead, confund the Grupo Cultural Oaxaqueño that celebrate Guelaguetza every year, and confunding Studio Lazo International Children's Day. I hope in this dark time for immigrants and Latino, all of our collective work can be light, and that together we can continue to lead. Thank you very much.
Hi, friends. My name is Priya Frank, and I'm the Associate Director for Community Programs at the Seattle Art Museum, and I'm honored to be the Vice Chair of the Seattle Arts Commission. Today, I am so excited to present a Mayor's Arts Award to someone who I've admired and called my friend for years, Tarik Abdullah. Tarik is a chef, artist, innovator, community activist, and TV celebrity. His culinary creations honor traditions from North Africa and the Mediterranean and are inspired by the tastes and flavors of his childhood. His artistry comes through not only in his food, but in his everyday interactions with people, sharing his passion for cooking with the younger generation by teaching week-long summer camps called In the Kitchen with Chef T. He's also a founding member of Black and Tan Hall and a valuable member of the Hillman City Collaboratory. Tarik, please join me on stage.
How's everybody doing? Good? This is just weird. Bahia Abdullah, Yahya Abdullah. Both my parents are the reason why I'm standing here. Passion comes from my mother. The driven comes from my father. And because of that, it has allowed me to just do what I want to do and just be there for the community in every way possible, and do what I can for these youth. Getting this award is just one thing, but I think about like all my friends that have been with me through since the day one, and we've all been in this together, doing this for the South End. Shout out to the South End. I'm sorry, it's about the South End right now. For me, just growing up, it was just always about like community. It was always community. I grew up around just elders all the time. Just, it was always a good family feeling. And I said, because of that, I want to continue that work. And my goal is to do this work till I can't do this work no more. Karen Touring. Oh, man. All the kiddos. Coyote Central. Hillman City Collaboratory. Oh, man. Shannon Anderson. That's my guy that got me started in the community centers. He's not here right now, but I want to say what's up to him. I wish my mama was here right now, but she's probably just sitting there saying something good. This is just weird doing this right now. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. But no, in all seriousness, I think what we should be doing and what we should be all be doing is just constantly do the work and do it in a way where these youth need to have a bridge, and it is our responsibility to build that bridge. And if we continue building that bridge, these kids will have opportunity. And I mean all kids. You know, black, brown, white, all kids deserve opportunity. And a real quick footnote, shout out to all the beautiful black women that put this ensemble together. Y'all know who y'all are out there. But last but not least, I just want to say power to the youth, and thank you very much. Dab on that. You know what I'm saying?
Hi, everybody. Hello? All right. Man, I'm great. How are you doing? What's up, Vivian? I'm Quentin Morris. I am a 2011 recipient of the Mayor's Arts Awards and a member of the Seattle Arts Commission, and it's a pleasure to present to a fellow musician with this year's Mayor's Arts Award, and that is Karen Thomas. Karen Thomas is a distinguished artistic director and conductor of the Seattle Pro Musica. She's produced 11 critically acclaimed commercial recordings, which is very difficult. Bravo to you on that. And has received the Margaret Hillis Award for Choral Excellence and the ASCAP Chorus America Award for Adventurous Programming in Contemporary Music. Karen has also led efforts to make Pro Musica fully welcoming for LGBTQ individuals and accessible for youth and low-income residents of the greater Seattle area. As a board member of Chorus America, she has worked to help choruses throughout the United States become welcoming and safe places for trans and non-binary singers. Please join me in honoring and welcoming to the stage Karen Thomas. Congratulations.
So much joy. I know. Don't forget your picture. Oh, picture.
This part. Hey.
That's right.
I forgot about the picture. Okay. Thank you so much, Mayor Durkin. Thank you, Quentin and Randy and all the staff and commissioners at Office of Arts and Cultures. This is just a great honor, and congratulations to the fellow awardees. It's when I looked at the list and saw what everybody else was doing, I thought, how am I on this list? But it's just an honor to be here with you, and all the things that you're doing are so important and necessary for this city. So thank you for all the work you do, my fellow awardees. I really want to thank also the people who are part of the selection this year. There are so many deserving artists and organizations in this city, and to be awarded from this very large group is just an incredible honor. So thank you again, Mayor Durkin and your committee and staff. I really want to thank especially the staff of Seattle Pro Musica, who are the people who do the behind-the-scenes work every day that makes it possible for this organization to do what it does. And they are tremendous to work with. I want to thank our donors who support us because they believe in what we do. And most of all, to thank the singers of Seattle Pro Musica, past and present, who every week help me to be a better conductor, a better leader, a better person. I thank them so much. Seattle Pro Musica has really made some strides in the last few years in terms of diversity, and part of the reason that we find it really important to weave diversity and equity and inclusion into what we do, for me, is very personal, and I want this organization to be a place that I would have felt welcomed as a young musician. We've especially worked recently, as Quentin was saying, on welcoming trans and non-binary singers, which in the world of choral music, some of you may not be aware, but it's a very, very binary world traditionally. Choruses are called women's choruses, and they're called men's choruses. And to move beyond that and create space that is welcoming and safe for people who don't identify in those ways has been a really important piece of work that we've been doing for the past few years, and I'm excited to continue that. When I talk to our new members and I hear that the reason that they sought us out to audition is because of who they see on stage, of what we wear, of the music we sing, of the words we choose to sing on stage, I know that we're doing the right thing. And there's still more. There's always more to do to create a more inclusive and equitable environment, and we will continue that work. It's important to all of us at Seattle Pro Musica, especially I think in these times of division and even hostility in our society. Music, and especially choral music, especially the sung word sung by groups of people together in unison, can do so much to bring us together, to heal our divisions, to make us all better selves than we might be alone. Thank you. Thank you. We continue to try and break down barriers and make classical music and choral music more accessible to more people, because that power and beauty is so tremendous, and I want everybody to be able to feel what I feel when I perform with groups of people in unison. It's tremendous. So thank you again for this award. I deeply appreciate it, and I will promise to do my best to be worthy of it. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Juan Alonso Rodriguez. I have my paper so I don't go off script. I'm a visual artist as well as a Seattle Arts Commissioner, and I also co-chair the Commission's Public Art Advisory Committee. In 2010, I stood on a nearby stage to receive one of these awards, except these are a lot nicer. I'm gonna have a little conversation with somebody. For those who were here, who was here for that at that time? Some of you were here. In case you remember, I just want to say that my cousin from New Jersey, Gloria, like a Stefan but without the money, she sends you her love. So, and for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, ask. I am beyond thrilled to present a 2018 Mayor's Arts Award to the very talented and fellow Cuban, Jorge Enrique González Pacheco. Jorge Enrique is a film industry professional and poet with 5 published books to his name. His award-winning poetry, usually in Spanish, has been translated to French, Portuguese, and English. He is the founder and chief programmer of the Seattle Latino Film Festivals and one of the hardest working people I have the pleasure of knowing. In the last 10 years of the Latino Film Festival, it has brought an art and social platform to Seattle where anyone, regardless of cultural background or ethnicity, can learn more about Latin American cultures and societies. Jorge Enrique, please come up and accept this award.
Do the picture? Oh, yeah. I'm shaking. You got this. Oh, yeah.
I told them I am shaking. Well, I write my words because sometimes my English works, sometimes no, depend. So when I have the honor to have a couple of people to, they were helping me to write my little speech. First I want to say good afternoon, all of you for being here today. Thank you, Mayor Durkan, for this honor. Thanks to Seattle Art Commission. Thanks to everyone at the Seattle office and Art and Culture, especially Randy. Thanks to the Seattle Latino Film Festival board, team, volunteer, sponsors, because it's very important that, audience, and thanks to all of my friends for supporting me. Some of them, they are here. My friend Lourdes, Chris, Molly, Ida from Panama, she's here, she came to support me, Lata from India, and others. One from Ecuador is there. So we have a lot of friends supporting and come to this event today. Trying to share with you in 3 minutes more than 20 years of my life dedicated to the enrichment of the art is impossible. What is not impossible is to describe the immense gratitude that I feel for being a recipient of a 2018 Major Art Award. I never thought I could be honored in Seattle with this award, and believe me, I say it with all sincerity. I was a teenager in my beloved Havana when I started to write poetry. I did more as a personal need after my mother's death. In a few words, the poetry saved my life. Then time passed, and this poem started to be published in books, magazines, and anthologies in several countries, and my literary career went deeper into this world of creation. In 1995, I started to work in the film industry. It was in Cuba. The cinema awakened in me a different passion, a different respect for what we call art. I always say the art is a food for the spirit, and the art make our societies better. After I found the Seattle Latino Film Festival, I learned that fighting for the dream is great. I have had fears, but see me here. It is because I did not stop and I keep going. The festival is an institution that brings to the Latino community the way to show our diversity in this beautiful city. But the festival needs your support and love to continue existing. I know a lot of artists are here today. I want to say something. Don't stop dreaming. See your dream as a reality and achieve what you want. Thank you, and muchísimas gracias.
Are we having fun? I tell you, amazing. So I, in addition to doing the opening remarks and closing, I have the great honor to give the next award to Paula Boggs. Many of you may know Paula as the musician, public speaker, fundraiser, philanthropist, a person who's been supporting the arts in this city for many, many years. And for that alone and all she does, including her 6-piece Paula Boggs Band, which cuts across jazz, rock, and expression, enough would qualify her for this award. But I also have the pleasure of knowing both Paula and her wife, Randy, as some of my closest friends for almost 30 plus years. We met when we were 10. And I will tell you that if you know Paula and have had the opportunity to see her in action, either in her band or in work with her on a committee, you will find no more committed person and passionate person. But she will be quiet, she will listen, and then when she speaks, people stop because it always has impact. When I first met Paula, she was a little bit different than today. She was a captain in the Army. And we were working in Washington, D.C., we met through a close mutual friend, and at the time, I only knew her in that kind of official capacity. Then one night, with friends, having dinner near her apartment in Adams Morgan, Washington, D.C., she said, "Oh, come on back." We went back, a bunch of us, to her apartment. She picked up a guitar and started playing. And I saw a completely different side of Paula Boggs and saw what animated her. And I saw her through all parts of her careers, as she was an amazing prosecutor, then lawyer, then general counsel for Starbucks. But it wasn't until recently, I think, that she's been able to define and bring all those pieces together and express it through her art in a way that is amazing. And her commitment to having that passion to make sure, as we as a city center ourselves on equity and inclusion, we stand up for those people who can't stand up for themselves. We bring some sunshine when there's only black clouds coming from the other Washington. And that's who Paula Boggs is. So it is my great honor to give Paula Boggs a Mayor's Award.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Durkin, the commissioners, the Seattle Office of Arts and Culture, and the City of Seattle. Words cannot express how emotional and privileged I feel to receive this honor with my amazing fellow honorees. My love affair with Seattle started in 1984 when I took a road trip with a friend in a baby blue Cadillac. We were delivering to the Emerald City from the Bay Area. It was a crystalline blue sky day, and our city literally looked like Oz as I drove north on I-5. Seattle had me at hello. In less than a weekend, I knew Seattle was home. And from that moment, I began to plot a plan to get here. It took 4 years, but finally I made it here in 1988. And though I've left a time or two in the ensuing 30 years, Seattle holds me like none other, and I am her grateful daughter. At a time when life is dark for far too many, we turn to the arts for comfort, escape, perspective, joy, hope, edification, and community. Art taught me these things at an early age. Long ago, a young black girl, less than 2 years removed from the segregated South, got a chance to live in a German castle for a week. When I got there, I only knew 3 students from my American high school, but with German, Canadian, British, and fellow American teen musicians, we learned and performed the works of Handel, Haydn, Orff, and Schubert in 1 week's time. That experience, one that 99.9% of Americans, regardless of race, gender, or socioeconomic background, never have, taught me the strong bond between art and community. Art has the power to bring folks together like nothing else. Those early lessons inform and propel the art I create, but more importantly, they fuel my passion to support the art others create. And those early lessons inspire me to champion wide access to the arts. I'm selfish. I want to live in a world where what binds us far surpasses what divides us. And art as Karen said, does that no matter our background, culture, or life story. Thank you for being here, all of you, each and every one of you. Thanks to my spouse, Randy Fox, a wonderful artist in her own right. Thanks to the arts organizations I've been privileged to work with, most notably the Seattle Art Museum, KEXP, and Seattle Symphony. And finally, again, thank you, Seattle. I love you.
The artists have said it all today. And those that aren't on this stage and in the audience and those you know, saying it every day, doing it every day, the expressions that bind us, as Paula said. We live in a city that is blessed in so many ways, but the thing that blesses us probably the most is the passion and creativity of the people who live here. So thank you for all your work. Thank you for being here. I want to give also a big shout out and everybody to give Randy, his office, and the commission a big shout out because they do so much for this city. And now eat, drink, and enjoy.